Remember that when we are stressed, we sometimes feel that we have no control, and simply trusting in the choice to open your eyes and keep them softly gazing or to close your eyes can be a good start. For you to trust, come back to yourself and to bring awareness here now. So some of us have chosen to sit on our cushion or blanket or bolster in a beautiful poise. The symbol of yoga, the symbol of traditional yoga, is to embody a seat with legs possibly cross-legged in Sukhasana. But those of you who feel fatigued this morning, do feel free to lay down in full Shavasana or supine semi. And how do you feel? Ask yourself that question and wait for response. Can you allow the answers to be without judgment? So answers in acceptance of what is there. So can you welcome what is showing up for you this morning? So let's address firstly body sensations. Do you feel warm or cold? Do you feel heavy or light? Do you feel open or closed? What is your mood and energy? How connected are you to your breathing at this moment? Is breath happening with easeful flow, or is it a little bit stuck? Did you also notice that until I mentioned the word breathing, were you not breathing? Were you just kind of suspended, trying to sit better or having a conversation in your mind? So if we think about the mind, how are your thoughts this morning? What is going on here and now? How do you feel? Notice sensations, thoughts, feelings, and images. And now let's bring close contact to our breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with sound through the mouth. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Try to exhale to full empty. Notice what's happening. Is your inhale short and sharp? Is your exhale shallow and tight? Can either of those two parts of the yoga conscious two-part breath, can either of those parts be more easeful? How does that happen? Possibly through repetition and through practice, through daily sitting, meditation, mindfulness, and practice. So allow 3 more on your own, at your own pace. Now the opening of the mouth on the exhalation as you release your out-breath was for you to let go of the jaw, the hinge points of the jaw, the letting go of the throat area, the tongue, the teeth. And this is because in body stress, we often clench the jaw, and we may even tighten the jaw at night and be teeth grinding. So this is another way we can just observe within ourselves if that sounds like something we might be doing. And now please open your eyes and maybe have a little look around your room, maybe look above you, maybe just connect to the space that you've chosen for this practice. And as you look around the room, I appreciate that we are in soul solitude. We are all in our own yoga spaces. But look around the room and imagine how it was when you were at that group class and you saw your mat buddy over there, and you maybe saw your friend to the left, and maybe there's a row of mats behind you. And you can imagine that you are not alone and that we're all here practicing together. Let's bring the palms into heart center. Lightly bow the gaze, and those that are lying, you may want to make your way to a comfortable seat now. Take your time, and as we bow the gaze, we'll all join together in comfortable seating. Eyes are open now. Soften the face, soften the shoulders. Inhale, exhale through the nose now. Imagine as you inhale, exhale, that you are able to breathe in and out through the face, through the skin, and through every cell of your body. And in order to embrace the breathing at a cellular level, you do have to be soft and know that you're not soft. So perhaps as you gaze down, you might notice maybe you're concentrating too hard or a little harder and you're frowning. Maybe your shoulders are a little bit tight. So let's reset, release the crown, let the arms lay open, give your body a little bit of a shake, roll the shoulders, and let's breathe again, in and out through the nose, in and out through the face. You know that on the face we have these, in the skull and in the facial bones, we have holes, adenoids and the sinuses and all of those different holes. We've got ears, we can hear the breathing inside us and we can feel the breath in our throat. So let's try and involve the whole breathing experience, not just in the skin and in the face, but through the throat, the pathway of the breath into the body, the breath expanding us front, back and sides, top to bottom, pelvic floor to palate diaphragm, big diaphragm here, the big D. And can you inhale, exhale through the nose with a much bigger body breathing experience, as if you are breathing not just in the brain, but in the whole body. That you are lighting up those cells, and in order to light those cells up and bring vitality at a cellular level, you might even visualize them. I have joked with you that I contain in my body my little minions. I like to think of that image from the film with those little minions, and I like to imagine them all excitable, and they're all running around with my breath energy and being able to wake up on a Monday and really be in my team. They're in my team and they're coming on board. You may have a different vision. Perhaps you might want to embrace breathing the lung sponges. Think of these lungs like sponges, expanding and releasing with gaseous exchange. Perhaps you want to inspire the heart, because when we breathe in, it is inspiration. So let's breathe that in, expand the heart and lungs. And in order to do that, we have to open the ribs. So let's bring the arms up a little bit, or bring the arms wide, soften the elbows. And as we breathe in, expand the ribs. And as we breathe out, just stay quite spacious. Perhaps you interlace the fingers and move into a more traditional yoga pose, which is bound hands. And you might even want to lean a little to the side and open the ribs there. And you may even want to come into side bend. And I'm just going to linger here for a moment and savor the feeling of this area on my left lung and left lung sponge really opening. I'm going to look up, expand, breathe in and breathe out, and notice. And maybe I'll drop that arm, because it can also be helpful to just put the hand onto that area and even feel the ribs expanding. Try the second side, inhale, exhale, any amount of space opening that is appropriate to you. And if that's actually preventing you from filling and swelling, then do so just sitting with the rib breathing, trying to access when we bring our palms onto our body. It really helps us to come into deeper breathing. So really fill and swell on the inhale through the nose. Breathe in the face, the skin, the organs, and then exhale and relax. Bring the hands to the knees now. Cross the legs the other way or sit slightly differently. I've got my blanket on because it's a little chilly today on this October day. Hands on knees or hands beside, and start to circle and stir your body. Now remember that this is predominantly today a breathing yoga practice. So can you stir perhaps slower or faster? Breathing in as you turn one way, exhaling, and maybe inhale forward, exhale backwards. Or you could, of course, turn very fast. It depends on how you are meeting with your flexible yoga body. How are you meeting that today? So around you go. Inhale, exhale. And let that happen. Maybe let the shoulders roll as well. A few more circles. And then releasing from your seat. And if you did have a blanket, you may want that blanket to be under your knees. And of course, it can be a lot neater than that. Let's find all fours. Get yourself into all fours, pressing the palms away from the, pressing fingers away from the palms, heel of hand. You might want to sway back and forward and just get settled. Shoulders above the wrist, and then wag your tail. So you might even consider bringing the knees a little closer. So wag the tail. Let the hips roll left and right. I've decided to join the knees. That feels good. I'm going to move the legs even a little bit into a slightly deeper movement. But it can also be like a tiny little tail wag. And then if you notice, as your pelvis slides left and right, notice how this is creating a shift again in your ribs. So as I wag my pelvis to the left, I'm literally pausing to squeeze the left armpit towards the hip, and therefore the right side of the lungs opens and the right rib, and then I'm wagging to the right, pausing there. Just tail wagging, it's so much fun. And then curl your toes, push the balls of the feet in and liven your toes. Reach back and extend. And you can remain here in an extended child's pose, Balasana. Forehead is down. Option number 2 is elbows to come in, palms together, or even stack your fists. I find this quite useful because it mirrors Ajna Chakra. So it's like you are placing your mind and stressful thoughts into a imagery of resting. So you're putting the third eye center onto the fist and just dropping in. Inhale, exhale, and really can you inspire the back lungs? So can you feel the ribs expand and the back lungs? And while your belly is resting on your thighs, can you let that swell and rest? Because in a very stressed out mind and body, you get stuck in the gut. Your digestion stops working, and that can be really become a habit and can be a little bit awkward for you. Then if we want to, we remain here with the Ajna Chakra, the idea of third eye pressure. There's an option, of course, to release your palms beside you and untuck the toes. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is slide the chest forward and just find Anahatasana. So I'm now resting on my chin, and that's okay for my neck, but you can also lift your face just above the earth and place your forehead down instead. And in fact, the toes that are tucked, I've got those ready for down dog, but I'm just going to soften the feet now. And notice how that changes the relationship with the knee pressure to the earth. Now release from your Anahatasana, the back heart opening pose. Check in, a little bit of nuzzling, a little bit of side swaying over the child's pose if that's okay for you. And if you enjoy that pose, go back to it and try again. So I've got, first of all, my chin resting. The hips are stacked right above the knees. This is a common mistake. People shoot their body far too forward and they almost fall off of their own legs, yeah? So go to that pose cautiously at first, and then inhale, exhale, and breathe 1 or 2 breath cycles. Remember, you can always slide back if it is not correct for your neck or it feels unwelcome. And then the other option I showed you was that we slid our bodies in, and then instead of pushing the chin down, you descend your heart center and chest, which requires very flexible shoulders. And then you pop your forehead down. Once again, we have pressure on third eye. This is pressure in our imagination, of course, and connecting your thoughts there. Breathing in and out, feeling good. And as you slide back, raise back into all fours, please. Bring your knees again onto your padded blanket, making fist on each palm. Send your thumbs forward, walk the fists under wrist or even closer to knees, and then arms are stacking beautifully. Breathe in, shoulders draw back, draw the belly in enough so that you just feel a table back. Ready to exhale and round definitively with intention. So scoop the belly in. Maybe you send your buttocks in and down, and you push and press the earth away through the knuckles. Your inner elbows face each other. And you can shake out the head if that helps. You can do a little bit of nodding, left and right if that helps, and then just breathe again. Maybe exhale through mouth. Now, feel free to return to your, let's say, kneeling pose. So you can return to kneeling. Sorry, the hair was in my face after shaking out the head. You can return a little bit to kneeling and breathe in here, or you can be in all fours and breathe in here. Breathe in very wide and full to the ribs. Press earth away, exhale, rounding into cat pose. And those of you that prefer to press the palms, then you can also transition very logically into spinal cat-cow here. Yes, so here's cow pose, inhale, and exhale into cat. So you may even feel, as I do, that that is the very logical place to go next in this breath, let's say, de-stressing yoga class. Now let's press the palms, and when we've completed our cat poses and our roundings, press the earth away, buttocks towards the feet, elongate, maybe a little bit of sway. Check in with your shoulders. Try not to, of course, lift them up to your ears. So there's a sense of external rotation in the bicep area, in the upper arm. Connect to the root of the thumb. Lift the hips high. And you might find, as I do, that it's lovely to come onto the balls of the feet. Spread out every toe. So sometimes the little toe gets caught. And bring the feet hip or shoulder wide. And let the crown descend. And now as you breathe in and breathe out, there's a lot of blood flow moving into the eyes and the nose and the ears and the head and the brain. And this is considered very therapeutic and very good. Now, take another breath, please. Allow that breath to be welcome. Bend your right knee and reach your left leg back and down. Push and press the heel of the left leg down. Look at the alignment. Look at your own left toes, ankle, knee, and hip. Stay here. Keep pressing. Keep breathing. Keep connecting. And then rise back. Hips high. Swap over. Left knee bends pure and clean. Right leg extends. Press your body towards the thigh. Try not to hyperextend your shoulders. Breathe and relax.
Maybe close your eyes, your choice, check your alignment. So if that ankle has collapsed, then reorient that ankle. Find that your shin and your calf opens. Open the back of the knee. If your heel is down, raise the right toes. Then lift again, high hips, bent knees, crouching dog, high hips, heels down. So here we go. Hips high, bend knees, hips high, legs down. High, bend, high, reach. Okay, and you might allow that to happen once more. And it's so that we enter clearly the body state. So you really enter the strength of your muscles. And again, that really helps us to come out of the headspace, especially if you have had, let's say, you know, if you've had quite a stressful weekend and maybe you're feeling a little bit of overwhelm. Yeah. Now, another way that I find it useful to support practice in times of overwhelm is to use bricks or blocks. So if you happen to have them in your yoga room or with you right now, maybe take hold of your bricks. If you've got two equal bricks, they can even come up quite high. If you don't have them, please don't fret. I don't want your yoga class to de-stress you, to become stressful because you haven't got the right props. So don't worry about that. Or you've got two books. You might have a couple of chunky books. So let's return to downface dog. So extend through. And by the way, if you wanted to bring your hands onto those two bricks and almost clasp them, you actually could. And then come into all fours, lift the hips high, and draw yourself into downface dog, heels extending. Take a moment and then walk through mindfully. Maybe you bend your knees. Walk mindfully towards the Uttanasana, the standing fold. Lift the toes, spread out the feet. And as you lift your sternum, fingertip touch to the bricks if you have them, or you can of course bring them super high into their tallest position, and even again make fists or fingertips. And can you bring your legs really firm? So we're drawing up through the hamstrings. And why are we doing this? Because it is said by people much more authoritative than me, especially Heather Mason of the Minded Institute, and I did her yoga for stress training many years ago, that the hamstrings in the body can hold on to a lot of stress there. In fact, that's issues in our tissues, you might regard. So crown lengthens, lift your sternum, perhaps bend your knees if necessary, and find that really good spacious feel sense in the buttock bones. And then as you choose to do this, legs firm, and then of course fold in deeply to your Uttanasana. You might bring the fingertips by the feet and toes, and your body may well draw in more closely. Ragdoll if necessary, hands behind heels, and allow this pose to feel like you hugging you. So if you can get connection between your body and your legs, this is a beautiful place to be. It's like a standing child's pose. It's like standing embryo. So you are folding into yourself. And of course, if your back is tender, just don't linger for so long, or maybe adjust and moderate. Now check in again with your breathing. Is breath happening? How is that breath? What are you feeling? What do you feel today? Let's come back to those bricks if we've got them, and use that support to bring heart open, and then hands to hips and rise to stand. Now, as you rise to stand, I want you to recognize that in a stressful mind and body, having 55 poses to do in a fast, frantic way may not be helpful. And our practice can be very suitably paced and very simple, and still give
real transformation, even in a 30-minute or 45-minute practice. So find mountain. Take a stand and stand into your power, the power of yourself. The crown is lengthening, the heart is reaching away from the abdomen. Spread your palms. Close your eyes and stand well into the feet. And if you please, as you look at your feet, connect that they are spreading, that they are not staggered. You haven't got one foot back. It's common to do these habits. Keep the pelvis really beautifully level. And just rearranging clothing. So bring yourself to full comfort. And if that means rearranging your clothing, then you've time. And then let's breathe in and let the arms sail up, let the heart blossom. Maybe the arms come all the way, palms lightly touch, exhale into heart center. And as they come into heart center or belly center, bow the gaze. Breathe in, blossoming, here and now, present moment. Back bend for some. And exhale into heart or belly center. And at the end of that exhale, full emptying and soften. 2 or 3 more rounds of breath, Urdhva Hasta Tadasana, in your own pace and time. At the close of those 3 breath cycles, no need to hurry, standing in Pranamasana, palms connecting into your heart center, crown is lengthening, eyes are to horizon. And again, have a look around the room, have a look at the space you're in today, maybe look at the sky above you or outside, the trees, anything you can see. And your props, you might want the 1 brick if you have it. And let's stand into the back line of the mat and widen the legs just enough. Rotate your right foot 90 degrees. Release your left heel further back and then bend into that right knee. And as you bend in several times, just really you can see that we're about to find Peaceful Warrior Virabhadrasana 2. So pull the left heel back a little bit further, be guided by the right angle on this right leg and stack your body. Let's reach the arms away. Lovely inhale, exhale. And feel okay about this pose. Now take the left arm round to the right and rotate your body enough. And as if you're looking towards a very bright future. And then open again on the left and look back. And we'll imagine that's our past and we'll just say, okay, we can't really change that. And then we'll bring the palms into the heart and that's the present. And then thinking about breathing again, lean and bring the right elbow to the thigh or come down to your brick, which may be on the inside of your ankle or the outside ankle, so you can choose again, trust in your choices. Rotate, pull the left ribs back. Find that you wedge bones together, anchor through that left leg, draw up through your navel, left arm to sky. Look up to the sky for inspiration, or extend the left arm over the ear. Parshvakonasana, the side angle pose, or Uttita Parshvakonasana. And if you are on that brick or block, Try not to collapse. Draw up and away from it. Deep inhale, exhale. Please don't let your head hang. So crown lengthens away from the tail. Can you find your feet and toes? Can you bring energy into the foot bed and the toes? Inhale, exhale, rise. Refind your warrior. Left hand on the left hip. Turn and raise the right arm enough and surrender hips. Be very grounded in the legs and then stand. Center. Hands come into Pranamasana and you observe any changes. So simply observe changes. Rotate your left heel 90 degrees, turn the right heel out. If you are using your brick, you can place it there. Stand into stability and lengthen the arms. And breathe. And then bend into your left knee a few times. And let's note the alignment sensibilities. We don't want our left knee to roll in. We want the left knee to stay open. We want a lovely spacious line around the hips. This is a side lunge. I'm going to sweep my right arm forward, turn the chest enough, as if I'm pointing towards a bright future. Inhale and open again. And then maybe look back to the past. And then let's bring the palms into center. Maybe we surrender hips a little bit more. Here is our here and now. Breathing in, reach the arms. And then maybe you just bring the elbow to the thigh and find your version of side angle. Or perhaps you can and desire to deepen the split between the legs and enter your Virabhadrasana 2 and Parshvakonasana that we are now in, Uttita, side angle, the Uttita Parshvakonasana, and breathe here. Maybe lean back a little bit. Can you open the lungs? Do you wish to gaze up? Stay connected. Feel good. And then right hand on the hip. Lift back. Warrior 2 again. Right palm to the right side. And then as you lift your left arm, slowly keep the legs in their power and gaze up. Momentarily, humble, peaceful, reverse warrior, and then release. And then come back in to your warrior. Come back into your mountain, sorry, from your warrior. And stand. Let's roll out the hands. And standing in mountain, because so much of our lives is active, close your eyes again if that's an appropriate choice. And then these hands that are spreading, these arms that are reaching out, shake them and literally soften them and let them dangle down so that the arms are hanging loose off of the shoulders, and you may even wish to roll the shoulders as well if that's better for you. As you close your eyes, if that was your choice, check in again. How are you feeling? Please welcome all sensations. Welcome thoughts, images, memories, plans. And now let that go if you can, and welcome your breathing. It's fabulous if you can learn to retrain your breathing to be supportive to you in times of stress. So you know when you connect to that higher heart rate or that chest breathing or that that moment when you catch your breath and you feel tight in the gut, or things like this. You feel jaw tense, you feel shoulders hunch. Oftentimes we learn that when we're sitting or lying in yoga class. But wouldn't it be good if you could harness that skill when you're sitting in a traffic jam and you're late for that appointment, or when you are standing in a long line at the supermarket and you're getting anxious, or whatever it might be, sitting in the GP's waiting room. And wouldn't it be good if you could use your yoga, breathing, and your pranayama techniques in those other everyday settings? So let's close or open our eyes and just take on one of those settings. So let's visualize a moment that you maybe had last week when you were catching your breath, or maybe you were angry or frustrated or irritated, or maybe you're upset by the new COVID rules in your area. And let's inhale, exhale. You might want to smile as you sigh the breath out and let go of those feelings. Or perhaps you are already able to hold a space for those frustration feelings and then recognize the secondary space that allows you to open up to a calmer breath practice. And of course, it doesn't always happen in one session. It might take several daily sessions. Let's reach our palms forward. Palms together in Namaste. Open the palms as if you are open to receive and to give this practice to yourself. Breathe in, wide. And as you exhale, bring that good energy back to yourselves. Let's do that once more. Reach and inhale, open wide. And exhale, slowly, deeply. Draw palms together. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for joining me in this de-stressing yoga session today, and have a lovely week ahead. Thank you, everybody. I do have to go today. I actually have literally just seen, there's my doorbell. I've just seen my lady arrive. She's another yoga teacher, and we're going to talk about some stuff because I'm going to be giving her some mentoring. So thank you so much. Have a great week, and do let me know any private comments. That will be fine. Thank you. Thank you for being here, everyone.